Hi, and welcome again to the World War America podcast. This is Anderson Thomas. The Iron Triangle. The Iron Triangle, also known as Willets Point in Queens, New York. That's what we're talking about today. So the Iron Triangle, it sits in the shadow of Citi Field, which is home of the New York Mets. It's been targeted for several failed redevelopment plans. This gritty area in New York City is the home of hundreds of immigrant-run auto repair shops. That's how it was for since forever. All these auto repair shops there. It's up for a new plan now. This one is a casino, and there are 6 elected officials picking individuals to sit on a community advisory board to decide if the casino plan is right for the Iron Triangle. Before we go any further, let's go over the community involvement part of this casino license selection process. The idea is the local community should have a say through 6 individuals selected by elected officials from the area that a license application is coming from. This, the gaming board, the actual gaming board for the state of New York actually has a website up. And here's from the website: local and zoning approval. Before the gaming facility location board may consider a casino application, a local community advisory committee will be created for each application to gauge local support and ultimately issue a finding determining whether there is adequate support for the proposed project. Each applicant's proposed project must successfully navigate the local municipal zoning process. Okay? Now, where it gets interesting is here. The Community Advisory Committee. Okay? For each application submitted, a community advisory committee will be created to review the application, gauge local support, and ultimately issue a finding determining whether there is adequate support for the proposed project. This affirmative finding is a requirement for the application to be considered by the GFLB. CACs are expected to hold public hearings and will be subject to New York State open meetings law. The commission may hire a consultant to assist and manage the CAC process. Each CAC will elect a chair at its first meeting, solicit and review public comments, hold public meetings. Ultimately, each CHC must hold a vote with a 2/3 threshold to establish public support approving or disapproving the application. The GFLB can consider only applications that are approved by a 2/3 threshold of the applicable CAC. That's important, okay? That's important because 2/3 is 4 out of 6. So 4 out of 6 of the selected board members have to approve the casino plan for it to go up to Albany for final approval. Well, we know who the 6 people are. Well, we don't know who the 6 people. We know who the 6 elected officials are, and I'm laughing, sort of a Freudian slip, because once you have the elected officials in place, and you know which 6 elected officials are selecting the individuals to go on the CAC, then you can kind of figure out who these people are going to be or how they're going to vote. So the 6 elected officials that are going to select individuals to be on the CAC for the Iron Triangle Casino Plan are Councilman Francisco Moya, Mayor Eric Adams, State Senator Jessica Ramos, Assemblyman Daniel Rosenthal, Queens Borough President Donovan Richards, and New York State Governor Kathy Hochul. So, those are the politicians that will be picking and selecting the individuals on the CAC, and 4 out of 6 of these individuals have to approve this plan right outside of Citi Field. Now, here's what's interesting about this and these 6 individuals, right? And here's my question. Has the process already been rigged? Is it possible? Is it possible someone's gone in and they've done enough to get 4 out of 6 elected officials out of this list to pick individuals who will automatically say yes to this plan? Is it possible? Well, it's possible it could happen, right? Is it probable? In this case, it could be. I say this because there's a consulting firm / lobbying shop connected to many of the elected officials making the community advisory board selections for the Iron Triangle. Okay? Here's a list of elected officials represented by this firm. Okay? Here's the list. It's pretty long. Okay? Eric Adams for New York City Mayor, Corey Johnson for New York City Comptroller, Antonio Reynoso for Brooklyn Borough President, Mark Levine for Manhattan Borough President, Tali Farhadian Weinstein for Manhattan District Attorney, Rafael Salamanca, Carlina Rivera, Francisco Moya, Eric Dinowitz, Crystal Hudson, Jennifer Gutierrez, Linda Lee, Jenny Lowe, Austin Shafran, Jose Pierre, and Tricia Shimamura, for all of them for New York City Council. So there's one firm who represents all of these people. Okay, imagine that. And this one firm having all these members of City Council that they've represented, having the mayor, they've represented. They have Councilman Francisco Moya as a client. This could be a rig job because of this. Okay, this could be a rig job. So the Iron Triangle could be rigged here. We don't know, but it's possible because you've got this one lobbying shop, consulting firm, who's representing all these individuals who are overseeing this process. All right? As I pointed out before, Mayor Adams already tried to make a power move for one of the elected officials in this list to become the chairman or speaker of the New York City Council. Forget what they call it, but Francisco Moya. This guy, Mayor Adams, was 5,000 miles away on a spiritual journey, and he stopped that to try to put pressure to get Francisco Moya to be speaker of City Council, New York City Council. All right? So there's already been power moves made here with people connected to this consulting firm, lobbying shop, and this hangs over a shadow over the Iron Triangle, and maybe selecting a casino that maybe the community doesn't want. Maybe the community doesn't want it. It's hard to know because so many elected officials have this connection to this firm who's been lobbying for casinos. They've been lobbying for casinos. Now here's the thing. There's still a housing crisis in New York City, partially caused by policies that go in and destroy immigrant businesses like the ones in the Iron Triangle. Okay? With nothing to replace. Just clear them out. Put a casino in there, right? So here we have a housing crisis, a homeless situation, because a lot of people have been uprooted from their jobs around the city because the city's getting a facelift, because Mayor Adams is working with the union. That's all about that, and that's fine. But when there's rules and procedures in place, are they being followed? And that's the key here, right? Because there's a procedure in place, and it's supposed to be put in place so that the community has a voice. Well, I don't know if the community has a voice in this case. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. That's why we're on this thing. That's why we're on this, and we're going to stay on top of this. Willets Point, we're going to stay focused on this because of these issues. Okay? We still have the billionaire here hanging out in the shadows. Okay? The billionaire put over $2 million into this marriage race, has got a company put together, and is lobbying like crazy, City Council and everyone else. So we also have him in the background. So that's where we're at right now, okay? Big things going on. We're going to be digging into this. We're going to be digging into some of the other proposals here. But the Iron Triangle, this is a big deal. And I hope you guys like this, and I hope you share it, and I hope you talk about it. Please subscribe. You know, this is something that is really important because we're talking about the future of New York City, and it's happening in a way that it looks to me like it may not be on the up and up. Who knows? But thanks again for joining me. Please listen again. Please share and subscribe. Take care. It was great.